Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about the Sorcerous Cup, the global PvP Silph Arena tournament for June 2020. So in this cup you can use ice types, poison types, fairy types, psychic types and normal types. There's bans on Dugong, Alolan Raichu, Pokemon with second charge moves that cost 75k or 100k, and also shadow Pokemon. So, starting off looking at the poison typing, and it's clear that the poison dare types are going to have a big role to play in this cup, with Alolan Muck and Skuntank both featuring in the top 5. Toxicroak having counter is a very big meta move for here for this month. You also have Tentacruel, which is the poison type that will beat the other poison types. The top 3. It also beats Azumarill and Frostlass. You also have Beedrill, which is here before Drill Run gets added, provided it can win the Community Day vote. If you add Drill Run, it flips the Haunter in the zeros or in the 1v0 shields. But Haunter isn't exactly a Pokemon you'd expect to be facing with 0 shields. So again, it's not going to be too much of a flip on that side, but you may get the Bronzong matchup with that. But again, Confusion is going to chunk at Beedrill's poison typing. You can get to a second X-Scissor, but that probably is about it. Drill Run, and in the ones you get to the second X's, or you can't get to the second Drill Run. Yeah, no, you can just get to the X's or in the ones, so you're still going down with a lot of health on Bronzong. If change that to the 1-0. Again, you even if you get the Drill Run off, you're still going to lose in the 1-0. So Confusion just does an awful lot to Beedrill's poison typing. Again, Muck is another interesting option. And you come down here, you have your poison grass types. Alolan Grimer is there. Venomoth, another Confusion user. Gengar could very well get Shadow Punch with the Community Day update. Crobat is another interesting one. If you look at some Crobat's wins, gets Azu, Toxicroak, Amok, Wigglytuff, and Licky Licky. Again, Dustox is another one. Confusion user gets Toxicroak, Wigglytuff, Beedrill, Bombus, Haunter. And it only goes to little over 1200 CP. So that goes to 1239 at best body 100%. Again, if Dustox actually got to 1500, that'd be a monster. So moving on to the psychic typing, and Hypno is the top dog here, along with Bronzong. Then you get Medicham, Wobbuffet, counter users, and then you also get Alakazam as a counter user, and then your next set of Confusion users are Claydol, Slowking, and Slowbro, and Executor. And then your kind of off the wall pick maybe is Giraffridge. Giraffridge, who can resist all Shadow Claws from your normal types, and also has access to Psychic for the defense drop chance and Thunderbolt to deal with, or to give him a fighting chance against the Azumarill. But with Confusion, it just destroys Toxicroak, Golbat, Haunter, Beedrill, Venusaur. All your grass poisons get beaten. Your fighters get beaten. Haunter can't do anything unless it lands a Sludge Bomb. Even if it does land a Sludge Bomb, does it even get to a Sludge Bomb in this matchup? Okay, so it gets to Shadow Punch. It could throw a Sludge Bomb. Why? If we leave that unshielded. Okay, so if you unshield Shadow, the if you unshield the sludge bomb, you're going to die. Draffridge is going to lose the matchup, not by much, by about 10 health, but still, you could take it if you had 10 extra HP. You don't, so you're better off if Hunter gets a move off on you. If it's a Shadow Punch, yeah, it only does 30 damage. It's not too bad. But again, Hunter needs to land the Sludge Bomb to beat Draffridge. Which is an interesting little side note. So moving on to the fairy types, and again, Azumarill is obviously king of the hill here. Little blue bunny running player off because there's not as much grass types knocking about top meta at the moment. Again, I can see that potentially changing if Azumarill becomes meta, then the grasses become meta, and then Azumarill gets Ice Beam to counter that back. Then you have your Charmers in Wigglytuff, Clefable, Lowland Ninetales, Granbull, and Togekiss. Again, these are going to beat your dark types, your normal types that have ghost moves. Clefable can take Noctowl. Let's see, yeah, it's going to destroy all your Charmers. Going to destroy a London Raticate due to its 4 times weakness. Granbull running Charm destroys the Dark Poisons, which is it destroys the Lowland Muck. Skuntank has a small bit of play on it, but again, Wild Charm is resisted by the Poison typing. The Dark typing is going to be taking it super effectively. And Togekiss has some interesting matchups. While it beats Frostlass running Powder Snow, gets beaten by a Alolan Sandslash running Powder Snow. But it can also take Medicham, Alolan Raticate, Munchlax, Toxicroak, same as your other Charmers. Moving on to the normal type, and you have Noctowl, Munchlax, the Licky Brothers, Alolan Raticate, Linoon, Wiggly is back in the picture here. The Barrel Legacy Pidgeot comes back. Mudslap, Crunch, Kangaskhan. If you got a power up punch or 2 off on that, is incredible. Delcatty running Faint Attack rather than Charm for this meta, but again, access to Wild Charge. Then you have the likes of Perogly having Shadow Claw. Stoutland Lick. These are other options that may not be as top meta as Munchlax and the Licky Brothers with their Ghost Fast moves, but it's another Ghost Fast move normal type Pokemon. Finally, the Ice types. Frostlass is Queen of the Hill in this one, followed by Glalie. Glalie has the advantage that it doesn't take super effective from Shadow Ball, but it also lacks the stab damage from Shadow Ball if it's dealing the damage itself. Alolan Sandslash, again, another contender to get Shadow Claw for this upcoming Community Day. And that could make it a very an interesting pick. And if we look at where it is at the moment, it's coming out with 100 wins with Powder Snow. And if we change that to Shadow Claw, it updates it to 102 wins. So slight difference, but I'm sure there's some matchups that it catches, it wins, it picks up some and loses others. But as it is with Powder Snow, Ice Punch, it takes out Skuntank, Amok, Frostlass, Noctowl, Wigglytuff, and it loses to the counter users in Medicham, Toxicroak, Ursaring, and Alakazam. Piloswine with Bulldoze is able to take out Skuntank and Amok. With Avalanche can take out Noctowl, Bulldoze again for Alolan Sandslash, and Powder Snow Avalanche for Alolan Raticate. It seems to be top meta at the moment, as far as the kind of dark normal type. 4 times weak to counter, weak to charm. Not a great typing to have, but it seems to be performing well. And with the ban to Dugong, Cloyster fills in that Dugong type role. with Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and has the new Hydro Pump. At the same time, it can take Skuntank, Alolan Muck, Hypno, Frostlass, Noctowl, and it's going to lose to your grass types and your counter users. Licky Licky running Earthquake, I presume, in this matchup. Yeah, so if Licky Licky can land one Body Slam and then the Licks do enough damage. So even landing one body. Okay. So Licky Licky just needs to land a Body Slam. In the ones, Gloom and a Bomb Snow. Razor Leafers, self-understandable. Linoon with Thunder and Grass Knot. Can do a lot of damage to Cloyster and Medichance counter. Another Pokemon that has a bit of play here could be Sneasel, looking at what it takes in beating Alolan Muck, Hypno, Bronzong, Noctowl, and Munchlax, which looks to be a lot of the top meta beaten by something like a Sneasel. Again, Ice Shard, what's it running with? Avalanche and Ice Punch. So running triple ice may not be the best. Maybe you want foul play for something. But again, what you're losing to in Alolan Ninetales, Wigglytuff, Clefable, Medicham, and Toxicroak. Foul play will only be neutral on Medicham. It's going to be weak against the rest. So Avalanche and Ice Punch is fine because they're not going to be running Return on Weavile or on Sneasel. And although foul play, we could have a separate moveset. Avalanche and Ice Punch probably makes the most sense. It's got a quick firing move and a nuke move. CLA again, in this cup it's looking at running Aura Beam over Water Pulse and running Powder Snow, Body Slam. It's just spammy when you run that. Then it's going to be beaten by your Razor Leafers, beaten by your counter user in Medicham. But it's going to beat Azumarill, Skuntank, Alolan Muck, Hypno, Noctowl. Again, a lot of top meta that it just beats. So if we were to look at the Community Day potential moves, you get Beedrill with Drill Run. Now I'm going to sim it with X-Scissor to keep the bait move available. So as you can see, Beedrill here goes 68% win rate. And it's going to be a poison type that, if I just compare to the other poison types here, then it's going to beat pretty much every other poison type in the cup. With the exception of Haunter, Venomoth, Golbat, Dustox, Crobat, and Amoonguss in the one shields. Now, keeping in mind, Venomoth knows Confusion, as does Dustox. That's going to counter against Beedrill's poison typing. And with Golbat and Crobat knowing Wing Attack and Air Slash, that's going to counter the Bug typing. Again, they're four that have the tight matchups over Beedrill. Haunter is just so spammy that it can get to the punch, and Shadow Claw does so much damage to Beedrill. And then Amoonguss, as a grass type, grass poison, is resisting poison jab, or it's neutral. It's going to be neutral to X-Scissor also. Feint Attack foul play, it just hits a little bit harder. So as you can see, just spams off two foul plays. It eats a Drill Run and comes out with 16 health. So looking at Alolan Sandslash versus the top early meta in this cup. If you were to run it with Shadow Claw, Ice Punch, and Bulldoze, comes out with 70% win rate against top meta. So it's going to lose hard to your counter users as a nice steel type. It's 4 times weak to counter. Toxicroak also has the addition of strong ground type move to help it, whereas Medicham has Power Up Punch in this case. It also loses to Azumarill running Ice Beam. It's going to lose to Munchlax, to Aras, to Lickitung, Licky Licky, and Linoon. Again, they're the top meta normal types. Shadow Claw is resisted by them. 4x resist. So, you're always in an uphill battle there. And Lick is going to be doing neutral damage back in return. Same with Shadow Claw from Line Noon. Quick attack then from Arat. Again, that's not going to be doing. It's going to be resisted. However, it's not going to be double resisted, as the Shadow Claws would in return. Then after that, it pretty much beats the rest of the meta. It takes out Quillfish, Golbat, Frostlass, beats Powder Snow, Alolan Sandslash. It can beat Alolan Muck, beats Haunter because it just becomes a battle of Shadow Claws. You're going to shield punch that they throw, and you should be able to farm down, I presume. If we look at that matchup, so you shield the first punch, throw an ice punch yourself. You can eat a punch and come out of it with nice punch loaded. By God. You can also beat Wigglytuff, Glalie, Venusaur, Bombsnow, Celio, Clef, Skuntank, Beedrill, Noctowl, Victreebel. It's just taking all the top meta. Yeah. So apart from your normal types that have ghost type fast moves, Shadow Claw beats most of the rest of the meta. Right, so looking at Gengar, if we were to give it Shadow Punch as its Community Day move in this meta, so I'm going to run it with the same moveset that Haunter has, Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch, and Sludge Bomb. It's going to come out at about even against top meta, and it's going to be losing to anything with a Ghost Fast move or with Confusion by the looks of it, except for Haunter. It's going to beat Haunter. But again, it's going to lose out to Bronzong, Lickitung, Arat, Munchlax, Noctowl, Licky, Linoon, Sandslash, A-Slash, Skuntank, Amok, Golbat, and Hypno. But then it's going to beat the fighters in Metacham and Toxicroak. It's going to beat Venusaur. It's going to beat Ghost type and Frostlass. It's going to beat some of the top water types in Tentacruel and Azu. It's going to beat Celio. It's going to beat Sludge Bomb Beedrill. It's going to beat Glalie. It's going to beat Wigglytuff. It's going to beat Clefable. Again, it's going to beat Victreebel and Bombsnow too. But it beats Haunter. And is this just because of bulk? So Gengar's doing 14, Haunter's doing 13. So if we had 2 rank 1s instead of 2 average stat products, it's going to be a tie. Yeah. So if you go in 0 shields or 2 with a rank 1 Gengar versus a rank 1 Haunter, you're going to lose the CMP tie, which means you're going to die first. You're both going to get to the punch at the same time. You're both going to essentially throw the punch at the same time, and Haunter's going to get it through because it has a higher attack stat, whereas Gengar has a slightly higher, much higher defense stat. 95.5 versus an 87, whereas the attack is 160 for Haunter and 154 for Gengar. Let's get to an attack of 162. Yeah, it's very attack weighted. If you were running an attack weighted Gengar, then yeah, you win. Just because you can win the CMP versus the rank 1 Haunter. Through a default Haunter in, it's going to win CMP in this too. If you have a very attack weighted Gengar. But again, it's going to be a CMP tie. It's going to come down to what the attack stat between the two is. So while yes, you will win in the ones because you have that extra little bit of attack. If I can just click on the ones and drop these both back to default. So you win in the ones just by courtesy having that little bit more bulk. Again, so other than that, then yeah, so that's what Gengar will give you. It's basically Haunter 2.0.